All right, guys. Super Smith back here with Morpheus. Now, today we're doing a lesson on just how much could you know about psychotropics, drugs, body fatigue, and other toxins malignant things that are bad for the body. So, for those of you who don't know, Morpheus is offering the blue pill. You have to choose to believe that you can be controlled physically, that your body can be controlled physically with movements, or you take the red pill and you choose to escape the mental matrix, where you choose to believe and learn and open up your mind to the belief that you can be controlled physically with psychotropics. And alright, guys, so doing another edit on this video on physical control. Physical control means you can be controlled physically with medications, drugs, possibly even some types of alcohol, certain bad alcohol, like certain beers that are, taste bad, or, well, I would take taste bad from my experience, And, okay, so, like you see back here, Morpheus is on my wall. He's telling me to tell you, I'm telling myself to tell you about my experience with physical control. Now, I know that you could be physically controlled. It means your movements can be manipulated from your body, your mouth. You can be forced to sing. You can be forced to drink and eat things you don't want to do with physical control, physical movements from psychotropics and other drugs and chemicals, and even possibly overexposure to heat to your body and pain. So how to avoid that? Taking pleasure is one. Seeking comfort is two. Copywriting your voice, your singing, your dancing is another one. And remember, the red pill is always the best choice, guys. You choose to escape that. You don't choose to live in that. You don't choose to live with that. You choose to escape it. So, all right, guys. So back here again. So to tell you how to avoid being physically controlled, you avoid toxins. You try to have sex. That's what you should do to avoid being physically controlled. And you should stay away from people who argue with you and don't want you to have what you want to have in life. You should get away from the haters. You should ignore them. And you should try to never negotiate with them, because their negotiation is just a trick to bait you in to being controlled by them or being harmed by them physically, where you lose your potential to seem attractive using your potential. And you're singing potential, you're dancing, your good looks as well. They can copyright your pictures secretly, send them on an underground, underground network. So, seeking pleasure is one of the best things you can do to avoid being physically controlled. Now, by physical control, I mean your body can be controlled physically. Like you can actually seem like a normal person, operating in society or at home to yourself, or to others mostly, and you wouldn't notice that. People wouldn't notice that. People wouldn't notice that you're being controlled. I mean, you would notice to control yourself because you would see your body moving on its own. But by then it would be too late. You probably lose a lot, or find it hard to gain control of your body again. I know that because I've seen it myself. I've seen people being controlled myself. I don't want to talk about who, because of privacy issues. So yeah. Now the best thing to do is avoid toxins, guys. Medications, medical medications, medical pharmaceuticals, psychotropics, psychiatric pharmaceuticals, chlorine, household chemicals, you know, fluoridated water, tap water with chlorine and fluoridated aluminum. It's best to avoid those things if you want to avoid being physically controlled, where society or anyone in front of you would see you as a normal person and, behaving normally, but would see bizarre behavior from you, like you falling apart or probably acting crazy or singing without recording or dancing or recording like celebrities know to for because of the fact that people want to see that, and because you're attractive and or you have good moves, So yeah, just again, guys, that's all I can think of for this video. I'll edit it again. Remember, take the red pill. Escape that control. Escape that potential to be destroyed and controlled. Take the red pill, guys. All right. Let me just see if I can get this into a picture of my face in it. Guys, another way to avoid being physically controlled and to losing all your valuable potential is to avoid toxins, avoid overheat exposure, avoid overheating, having your body overheat like your brain, avoid pain to your body. Try to have sex as often as possible if it's if you have the time for it, try to make time for it, and try to stay hydrated with sodium, try to keep your body comfortable, try to drink sugar, try to drink anything with sugar so that your blood and body get the sugar they need, try to do anything to be happy, don't let people step on you. Don't let people control you. Don't let people argue with you. People who argue with you and say no to you about what you need, what you want, are people trying to physically control you someday. They're trying to make sure that they gain physical control of you so they can copyright your dancing, your singing. And these people might even cause bodily harm to you so that you lose your potential. All right, guys. So remember, the last tip in this video is to seek physical comfort. As far as I can tell you, that's all I can end this video with. So make sure to seek physical comfort to avoid any physical trouble from your body that you do not want to have to deal with, and find yourself in despair.